Okay, I'm going to show you how to download the data from the Census at School website. So the first thing you need to do is find your task sheet, go to question 9 and copy this web address. So I'm going to copy the web address and I need to type that into a web browser. So I'm going to open Microsoft Edge. I am going to go to the address bar and put the web address in there and press enter. That will take me to the Census at School website. I need to click I agree and that will open the web page. After I clicked or checked I agree, I leave the first box on CAS International. Under subpopulation, I put country. Total sample size, I'm going to type in 500. Click enter. Assign country equals Oz. I'm going to type in 500. Click enter. And then I'm going to select the download sample button. And when I do that, a file will download. You will open that file. And you will have your data. So the first thing we will do is we'll save our data. So I'm going to go File, Save As, and go Browse to my Documents folder. And I'm going to put it in my 9 Maths folder. If you don't have a 9 Maths, you can create a 9 Maths folder. I'm going to change the file type to an Excel workbook. Now, I need to save it with a specific file name. You need to call it IA5 underscore secondary. Make sure you spell it correctly. Secondary data. And I am going to put my name after that. I'm going to call it Michael Starts. And I'm going to click Save. Okay. Now all our data, you can see some of these words are not, the cells are not big enough to show the whole word. So that'll be the first thing we'll fix up. I'll come up here and select this little area beside the A and above the 1. Then I'll bring my cursor across, not to the first column, but the end of the second column. Until my cursor changes to an arrow with a line with 2 little arrows, and I'll double click. That will auto size all of my cells. If we have a quick squeeze at our data, we see that we've got people of all different ages. Now we only want year 9s. So what we're going to do is we're going to come and select cell A1. Then we're going to click the data tab. We're going to click the filter button. And that will create all these little boxes with triangles in them that are actually drop-down menus. So we're going to find the column that says age in years. Hit the drop-down menu. We're going to deselect or uncheck the select all box. And then, because we're looking at the year 9s, we will check the 14-year-olds and the 15-year-olds. Whether you decide to do 14 and 15-year-olds, that's a discussion for your teacher and will become an assumption of your assignment. So we click OK. And now you will see that it's just showing 14 and 15-year-olds. The data is still there. If we come and have a look at the rows, we've got row 2 and row 4 showing, but in between there is row 3, it's just not shown. Since we only want the 14 and 15-year-old data. What we're going to do is we're going to select the cells that are visible. So I select cell A1, and then I select all of the cells that are visible. So I can do this by pressing holding down the shift button, pressing across with my arrows. So I get to the end. Then I'm looking for the end button on the keyboard. I'm still holding down the shift button. If you've let the shift button go, that's fine. You can just press it again. And press the end key. Then press the down arrow. And that will select all of the visible data. Then I'm going to come up to my home button and press copy. So you can see that's just selected the visible cells. I'm going to go to a new sheet, and in cell 1 I am going to go paste. And what that does is it creates a new sheet with just the 14 and 15-year-old data. So I'm going to come back up to cell A1, and I am going to press the filter button while I'm here. So let's press the data tab, press filter. That creates all my filters. You'll see still we've got some of this information's hidden, so I'm going to come up to the cell above 1 and beside A, and then I'm going to go across to the columns between B and C and double click to auto size everything. And now you can see foot length and arm span and height here, which are our 3 variables that we've collected data for. So the next thing we want to do is choose our data. So I've done arm span. So I'm going to select the drop down menu for arm span. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the first option, sort smallest to largest. That sorts or organizes all my data from the smallest value through to the largest value. So this will be handy for looking to see if there's any big gaps between the data, and that can tell you if you've got any outliers. It will also be useful for working out the median. Before we exit out of our sheet, there is a couple more jobs we would like to do. So the first one, at the bottom of this, we are going to do some calculations. So we're going to do the sum, we're going to do the count, and we are going to do the mean. So in the cell underneath the column data, I need to press equals for a formula, and then I'm going to press SUM, open brackets, and I'm going to go up to the top of my arm span data, and I'm going to select all of the cells that have numbers in them. And then I'm going to press close brackets and enter. That will give me the sum. Then in the next cell, I'm going to calculate the count. So I'm going to press equals, count, open brackets, repeat the process, go to the top of my sheet, select all of my count data, just the data, close brackets, enter. I can see that my sum is 22,240, my count is 134. I can use those 2 pieces of information to work out the mean. I'm going to push equals, and then I'm going to select this cell, the sum, divided by this cell. Now my average is 165.97. I don't need all these decimal places, so I'm going to come back up to the top, select the home, go across here. You'll see there's 2 buttons. The first one's increase decimals, and the second one's decrease decimals. So if I click the decrease, I can decrease the decimals, and the number will be round, not funny. And that's it. At this point, we should save the data. I'll save our sheet, so we're going to click save. And then we're going to go back to our worksheet and we're going to answer questions 10, 11, and 12.